Hey, what's up, sports bettors? It's Matt here with OddsJam, aka Jedi Modi, and in this video, I'm going to talk about why I am fading the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense. At least for week 5, it's something that I've been doing for the first couple weeks of the season. Despite the 31-point outburst against the Chiefs, I'm not quite scared off of it yet. So we'll talk about that. And with that, I do have a best bet for NFL week 5, similar to this, of course. But in this video, we're talking about the struggles of the Tampa Bay offense. Now, there was a lot of weirdness heading into the season with the Bucs when Tom Brady left training camp for like 2 weeks, something like that, 17 days. Came back. There was rumors that he left to go be on The Masked Singer, which I thought was funny. I actually believed it. But when he came back, you could tell that something was up with Brady. He came back, I'm 45. I got a lot of stuff going on. Seemed to be a little more introspective than we're used to seeing Tom Brady. Of course, Brady's the GOAT for a reason. Was never really concerned about his play on the field. The actual reason why we are fading the Bucs offense is just from an injuries perspective. They lost a ton of offensive linemen in the offseason. They had Ali Marpet retire. Their starting center, Ryan Jensen, got hurt in the training camp in the preseason. Their backup guard, Aaron Stinney, got hurt in the preseason as well. They're just an incredibly banged-up offensive line. And if there's anything that makes Tom Brady struggle, along with a lot of other quarterbacks, but specifically Brady because he's so good in the pocket, is pressure up the middle. He's good at pressure from the ends, mostly because he can step in and step up and navigate the pocket very well. It's hard to do that with pressure up the middle. Now, I will admit, the Bucs have played some pretty good defenses so far. The Cowboys defense, the Bucs only scored 19 points. We have now seen the Cowboys give plenty of offenses trouble. The Saints are another team that has a good defense. Granted, they did just get lit up by the Vikings last week. And this 20 points from the Bucs is a little bit skewed because they only scored 13 points. Offensively, they had a pick 6, which got them another 7. They also had 3 interceptions thrown by Jameis Winston in this game. If you look at this game, they were shut out at halftime. They only had 3 points entering the fourth quarter, and all 17 of those points were from turnovers from Jameis Winston. So not exactly a great showing. Followed that up a week later against the Packers. Didn't score their first touchdown until the last 2 minutes of the game. Of course, this was the game, if you remember, they were missing all their receivers. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Julio Jones all missed this game. They got them back for week 4 last week, put up 31 points against the Chiefs. Now, this was a weird Sunday night game. I mean, the Chiefs scored 28 points at halftime. It's just a weird offensive game that we're not used to seeing. I mean, Brady throwing 52 times, 385 yards. They still couldn't run the ball, which I thought was funny. But with all that said, the Bucs offense, their team total, I found this positive expected value play on OddsJam, is listed at 28.5. Now, I would like to put a full unit on this one. I would like to put a full unit for me, but PointsBet has me limited, won't let me get that. So the max I can get on this play is just a half unit play, just $50. But for those of you at home who are trying to unit size this play, I like taking the Bucs team total under 28.5 at plus 105 on PointsBet. I recommend locking this one in. I think it's a very sharp, profitable bet. For all the reasons why I mentioned before, the Tampa Bay offense is ripe to fade. And now we have a positive expected value bet found here using OddsJam, using their positive expected value software, as you can see here. So the fact that we are able to get some sort of value play fading the Bucs offense, I think is pretty valuable. Now, the Falcons defense clearly isn't as good as some of the top defenses that the Bucs have played, but they're not as bad as you think. They're not a bottom 10 defense. I think they're ranked like 21st in the NFL in DVOA, something like that, something around there. So they're certainly not one of the best defense in the NFL, but they're also not among the worst. And the Bucs defense, aside from the random outburst against the Chiefs, has shown the ability to shut offenses down. Like, as bad as their offense has been, if you want to look how good their defense has been, and this is just Google, like 10 points to the Saints, 3 points to the Bucs, 14 points to the Packers. They're not giving up that many points, so I don't think this is going to be a game in which we're seeing the high shootout that we saw against the Chiefs. I think they're going to run the ball a lot to control the clock, which leads to just lower point totals in general because there's less game time being played. There's less plays being played. So I think this is a great play positive EV percent, of 4.05%. So if you are able to put a unit on this one, put $100, you could figure to make $4 in profit from this play, which is pretty good when you think about that it's just one bet, a bet that will be realized on Sunday. Generally, when you're investing, you're not going to see returns 4% in a day, something like that. And this is just on one bet. If you're locking in a bunch of other ones, more than just the 4% here, this 4% turns into 25, 50% what you're making in the course of a day, which is really good. So all in all, I thought this was a great bet I found using OddsJam. The no vig line prices this at -104. We locked it in on PointsBet at +105. I recommend locking this one in. I put $50 on it because that is what PointsBet would allow me to get. Click save, and we're good to go. So for this game, the Bucs versus Falcons, we're fading the Bucs offense. And if you just look at where the other books price it, right? Like DraftKings -105 is the closest that is offering anything to this play. Bet Rivers -117, the under at -109, favoring the over, the under, favoring the under, telling you that we think the under is the more likely scenario. Same thing with Pinnacle Sportsbook, which is the sharpest sportsbook in the world, telling you that the under is the more likely scenario, and we can get it at +105 on PointsBet. Just an insane value finding this on OddsJam. So again, recommend putting a unit on this one. Would also recommend subscribing to the OddsJam YouTube channel, where you can get all of our sharp NFL picks. If you want to sign up for the Discord as well, I'll put a link for that in the bio. OddsJam Discord, where we post all of our expert picks for the NFL. It's been going well for me since NFL started. I'm up about 8 units since football season started, which is pretty good. So definitely recommend to sign up for that. It's in the description of this video, in the comments of this video as well. But that's it. So I appreciate you guys watching. Again, remember to subscribe to everything, and have a good one.